There are a lot of stories online. When you go browsing, you see all kinds of things. And sometimes those stories are just pure noise, but every now and again, you will come across one that makes you stop scrolling, sit back and, feel something. And so the other day I was on the BBC website and I found this article about a pair of AI smart glasses. And honestly, I haven't been able to get it out of my head. Not because I am a sort of tech nerd, although let's be real, guilty as charged, but because of what it really means for real people. Now, you might be thinking, what does this all mean? So let me try to paint a picture for you. So imagine this, you wake up tomorrow morning and for the first time in your life, you can't see clearly. Maybe it's an illness, maybe it's age, maybe it's something you were born with. The world that you kind of knew, like books, faces, your favorite cafe menu, it just becomes a blur. And suddenly you're dependent on others for things that you used to do without a second thought. Now, it sounds very kind of far-fetched if that's not something you're experiencing, but that's the reality for millions of people living with sight loss. And then along comes this invention, these AI-powered glasses that don't just sit on your face and look stylish, but actually they see for you. They can read text out loud, they can describe what's in front of you.
Face might just do it. Hey Meta, translate this book.
For a moment, the cameras are stuck on Peter's downturned gaze while everyone assimilates what he just said.
It's reading it like an audiobook. May have been a glitchy start, but this is great.
It's basically having a friend sitting next to you every time, telling you what to do. Hey, this is that, and sort of whispering guidance into your ear. And to be honest, it's bigger than tech. It's about dignity, it's about freedom, it's about independence. And independence is one of those things that we never think about until it's taken away. Like I remember when I was at university and I dislocated my knee once. And honestly, I never had more empathy for people who need like assistance, wheelchair assistance. Up until then, I'd never had more empathy until I had that experience. And it was temporary for me, but it gave me like the tiniest glimpse of what it's like to depend on someone else constantly. I mean, just whether it's to make a cup of tea, whether it's to get breakfast, I was in bed all the time. Now imagine if that wasn't temporary. Imagine if every single day you had to ask someone to read your post or to tell you whether you're holding a tenner or a fiver, right? These glasses, they give people some of that independence back. And that's absolutely massive. So how does it actually work? Well, inside the frame, you've got these tiny cameras and little speakers. The AI is basically trained to recognize objects, read text, and even identify people's faces. So if your mate John walks into the room, it can literally tell you, hey, John's here. If your wife's just walked into the room, they say, hey, your wife's here. And they can basically read whatever you want them to read for you.
Whispering wisdom into my ears on demand?
What does this say in Italian?
Progetto manager colleagues, project leaders, architetto, atelier, Andy Carson.
That's mad. That's mad.
Which I think is super cool. And it's not just some clunky sci-fi helmet. They actually look like normal glasses. You could walk down the street and no one would even know you've got this incredible bit of AI quietly helping you navigate the world. And for the people wearing them, it's not about looking futuristic. They want to feel normal. They want to be able to connect to people. And once I started reading about this story I found online, I kind of went down this rabbit hole and I found so many other stories of AI glasses that were changing people's lives. Like there's this one guy who basically bought his dad a pair of these Meta Smart Ray-Bans. His dad is visually impaired. And before he couldn't even read a menu in a restaurant. But now he just holds the menu up, the glasses read it out loud, and his dad orders with confidence. He's reading newspapers again, he's counting his own change. I mean, these things that we take for granted. He's even smiling more. So can you imagine something so small as ordering food actually feels so empowering? I think that's the power of technology that sometimes we don't realize. There's another one I think is in Scotland, and they're basically working on these glasses that can lip read for people who are deaf or hard of hearing. So think about it. You're in a noisy cafe where normally you'd be totally excluded from the conversation, but with these glasses, you're right there, you're part of it. No awkward nodding, no feeling left out, just belonging to the conversation. There's another company in Romania, they basically make glasses that guide people with vibrations, like a virtual guide dog. So instead of tapping a cane or relying on someone else, you get these sort of gentle signals on your skin telling you when to turn left, when there's a step coming up. It's subtle, but it's clever and it's life-changing. And here's why I think this matters. We often talk about AI like it's this scary, mysterious force. People worried about it stealing jobs or making deep fakes or spying on us. And yet, of course, those are real concerns and we do address those on the channel. But there's another side to AI that doesn't often get enough airtime. AI can be kind, it can be supportive, it can give people their confidence back. For someone living with sight loss or hearing difficulties or dementia, AI glasses aren't just a gadget.
I'm completely blind and this is how I shop without sight. My guide dog and I are at the mall with my husband and he's telling us when to turn so I can let Samson know. I shop with my hands, so when I feel something cute, I ask my Meta Ray-Bans. Hey Meta, what color is this?
The fabric is white with a yellow floral pattern.
Cute. I might not be able to see, but I love to find new ways to shop.
And I've had, people in my life who have had personal experiences with this. This is a lifeline. It means they can walk into the room with their head high instead of shrinking back because of their condition or their illness. That's not just tech, that's humanity. Now imagine fast forwarding 10 years from now, these glasses could become as common as smartphones, not just for people with disabilities, but for everyone. You're traveling abroad, they translate signs instantly. And I know what it feels like to be lost in a city. When I went to Italy last year, that was like super crazy. So they guide you, and if you're somebody who forgets faces easily, and I know a few people are guilty of that, they can whisper who's who. I mean, have you ever been in those awkward conversations when you're like, sorry, where do I know you from? Well, AI glasses could probably save you an awkward moment. But more importantly, millions of people who kind of once felt shut out of the world are suddenly included. And they're working, they're studying, they're socializing, they're living without any barriers. That's the kind of future I'd love to see. That's the kind of technology I want to be a part of. I think what touched me the most is how something so small could make such a huge difference. We talk a lot about big tech innovations even on this channel, like self-driving cars, robots, space travel, but sometimes the real breakthroughs are the ones that quietly restores someone's everyday life. And you know what? It makes me grateful. Grateful that we live in a time when technology doesn't just entertain us, but can also give someone back their dignity, their independence, their joy, their smile. It's a reminder that, at its best, tech isn't just about gadgets. It's ultimately about people. So yeah, that's a story that's been on my mind. A simple pair of glasses, powered by AI, changing lives in ways we could only dream of a few years ago. And maybe that's the lesson for us, that sometimes the most powerful technology, it's not flashy, it's not futuristic, it's the stuff that helps us connect, belong, and live a little freer. We all have that one person in our lives who we know can benefit from this kind of technology. And if this story made you feel something, share it, talk about it. Because the more we celebrate technology that helps people, the more of it we'll see. So thanks for sticking around and listening. Until next time, I'll see you soon. Ta-da.